You need compute capacity that can handle demanding AI inference, graphics rendering, and data analytics workloads without sacrificing performance or requiring multiple instance types. You can deploy up to 8 NVIDIA RTX Pro 4500 Blackwell Server Edition GPUs per instance, each with 32 GB of memory, to consolidate your workloads. You can run AI inference with 4.6x performance improvement over G6 instances for tasks like language translation, video analysis, speech recognition, and recommender systems. You can render graphics with 2.1x faster processing for real-time graphics creation, cinematic rendering, and game streaming. You can access 700 gigabits per second EFA networking bandwidth with custom Intel Xeon 6 processors to support large-scale data processing pipelines. G7 instances are available in U.S. East Ohio and U.S. West Oregon as on-demand instances, savings plans, or spot instances. Contact centers need to handle urgent or time-sensitive contacts that cannot wait in queue, even when agents are occupied or in custom statuses. Amazon Connect now lets you override standard routing configuration to interrupt agents with urgent contacts. You can ring an agent who is already on a call, allowing them to decide whether to put the first caller on hold to answer the urgent contact. You can also directly assign contacts to specific agents even when they have set themselves to a custom status that normally prevents them from receiving queued contacts. For example, you can ensure an agent in back-office work status cannot take customer service calls while still allowing calls to their personal extension to ring through. This capability is available in all AWS regions where Amazon Connect is offered. When you provision EBS volumes, you need to balance cost against performance requirements, but workloads that experience bursts of high IOPS or throughput can make right-sizing decisions difficult. You can now use Compute Optimizer to analyze two CloudWatch metrics that track when your workload attempts to drive IOPS or throughput beyond your volume's provision capacity in any given minute. By examining volume IOPS exceeded check and volume throughput exceeded check, you can make informed right-sizing decisions that account for performance spikes. These metrics are available at no additional charge for EBS volumes attached to Nitro-based EC2 instances, and you can access the enhanced recommendations through the Compute Optimizer console in all supported AWS regions except GovCloud and China. Running large SQL Server databases with high I/O demands previously faced volume size and performance constraints that limited scalability. With this update, you can scale each GP3 volume up to 64 TB, which is 4x the previous 16 TB limit. You can provision up to 80,000 IOPS per volume, 5x the previous limit, enabling high-throughput OLTP systems to handle more concurrent transactions. You can configure up to 2,000 MB per second throughput per volume, 2x the previous limit, which benefits large-scale analytical workloads that process significant data volumes. You can add up to 3 additional GP3 or IO2 volumes per DB instance, increasing total capacity to 256 TB per instance. These improvements allow you to run mission-critical SQL Server workloads on a single instance with simplified storage management while maintaining the same pricing model where you pay only for provisioned storage, IOPS, and throughput beyond baseline defaults. When workload demand fluctuates, slow auto-scaling responses force you to maintain higher baseline capacity to avoid performance degradation, increasing compute costs. Amazon ECS Service Auto-Scaling now addresses this by supporting 20-second metric resolution instead of the default 60-second intervals. You can configure 20-second resolution metrics for CPU and memory utilization through the AWS console, CLI, CloudFormation, or SDKs when creating or updating your service. This reduces scale-out trigger time from 363 to 86 seconds, a 76% improvement, and total time to scale and provision new tasks from 386 to 109 seconds. With faster detection and response, you can lower baseline capacity while maintaining reliability and performance as demand changes. The feature is available across all ECS compute options including Fargate, ECS Managed Instances, and EC2 in all commercial and GovCloud US regions, subject to standard cloud watch charges for high-resolution metrics. When you scale MSK provision clusters with express brokers up or down, you need to rebalance Kafka partitions to maintain performance and capacity utilization. Previously, this required manual intervention or third-party tools, and intelligent rebalancing was only available on newly created clusters. Now you can enable automatic partition balancing on all existing MSK provision clusters with express brokers at no additional cost. You eliminate the need to manage partitions manually or use third-party tools, as the system continuously monitors for resource imbalance or overload. You benefit from rebalancing operations that perform up to 180 times faster compared to standard brokers. When scaling is required, brokers are scaled efficiently without affecting cluster availability, allowing your clients to continue producing and consuming data uninterrupted. This feature is available in all AWS regions where express brokers are supported. Organizations with data perimeter requirements, compliance mandates, or private network infrastructure face challenges when Kubernetes API server traffic for admission webhooks, OIDA lookups, and aggregate API requests must reach private endpoints or follow specific network paths. Amazon EKS Customer Routed Control Plane Egress solves this by letting you route outbound API server traffic through your VPC. You can control security groups and egress paths for this traffic, ensuring it follows your network policies. This enables you to access private OIDA providers and webhook servers that are only reachable within your VPC. You can enforce this configuration organization-wide using the X-Control Plane Egress Mode IAM condition key with AWS Organization Service Control Policies. To enable this capability, set control plane egress mode to customer_routed when creating or updating a cluster. The feature is available at no additional cost in all AWS regions where Amazon EKS operates.